Mm-hmm. 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 Come on. Mm-hmm. 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 Really, all I have to say about this episode of Monday Night Raw is that, thank God, what a relief. Because last week's show was so boring and dreadful, it wasn't really doing anything for me at all. But that was last week's. This week's show made up a lot of it. And it has to do with the audience sometimes, where the WWE goes, what is the best audience. And even though sometimes the crowd in London, England does kind of go out of their way from going to business for themselves at some parts of the show, you know what? At least they're reacting the way that they are to actually make it exciting. And there are actually some things on the show that actually felt exciting as well. And the way the show started done exactly that. And it was Bray Wyatt. And I like how, you know how the graphics come up, you know, the then, now, and forever and stuff like that. I like how that got interrupted. You got that Wyatt family, they appear in the ring. That was a nice touch, I thought, the way that the production was at the beginning of the show. It was something different, it was something unique, something we never really seen before from the WWE. So, major props. The little things do matter sometimes. But moving on to the show, the first thing was the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt already in the ring, and he's cutting a promo. And before I get into his promo, I like to pick out the little things as well because I really enjoy them, and they do matter. And all the little lighting from the people in the audience while everything is just black around them. It's just excellent just to see. Just the visual of it is just amazing to watch. Now, I know I'm carrying on here, but let's just get right down to it. Bray Wyatt, he's talking about John Cena, this, that, and everything else. And he goes on to talk about a story about his teacher and how his teacher used to view him as a nobody, as someone who's a disappointment to him, but now he's a someone. And I like that he mentioned that that he admits that he's being evil, and he's a necessary evil that will balance out everything. And every time Bray Wyatt is in the ring with a microphone, it's gold no matter what he does, and a lot of it has to do with him writing his own material. I know I said that before, but I'll say it again. Bray Wyatt, absolutely amazing. And then we get to see John Cena come out, and he gets the one-upsmanship on Bray Wyatt, and it's setting up the whole main event for later on the show, which is John Cena versus Luke Harper. Moving on, we get to see Antonio Cesaro versus Sheamus in a non-title match, or should I say Cesaro? I'm still trying to get used to the name change. And here you have Paul Heyman at the beginning of this match, talking to the audience, and he's having his own little fun with the audience, and he was just gold here. I love that he was like, hey, I'll do this for you. He lays on his back. Who am I? No. I'm not your soon-to-be dead queen. I'm the Undertaker at WrestleMania because my client Brock Lesnar bet the streak at WrestleMania. He goes on and on. It's a good marketing thing for Paul Heyman. I like it. I know some people think that, you know, that he should drop it and like leave it till like WrestleMania time next year, but I do enjoy Paul Heyman shoving it down everyone's throats week after week because he can use it to gain heat. It's there. We get to the match. Cesaro versus Sheamus. This was actually a good first match on on this show. It was a really solid physical match. And what I also like is that it actually went a little bit longer than I expected it to be. So to me, that alone was something great to see. And what happened at the end was Cesaro winning with the German suplex over Sheamus when Paul Heyman causes a distraction. And here I'm thinking, even though the fans are viewing Cesaro as a babyface, the WWE is still trying to book Cesaro as that bad guy, as that heel, for have him to win in a unclean sort of faction. I'm still 50-50 on it. I think that at this point in time, sooner rather than later, the WWE should drop the whole Paul Heyman and Cesaro relationship and just have Cesaro build him up as a babyface, maybe win Money in the Bank and cash that in, maybe at the Royal Rumble or something like that. But something needs to give for Cesaro, I think, in my opinion, because to me, if the WWE keeps doing this, eventually the audience is going to tune out in hoping that Cesaro is going to turn babyface. So they might as well react the way that they normally do, even though on this show they were reacting like Cesaro was the babyface and Sheamus as the heel. And even at the end, I'm watching the after show now, Cesaro refusing Sheamus' handshake, signalizing that the rivalry will probably continue and will probably end up having a title match at Payback, where Sheamus defends the title against Cesaro. I don't know what my prediction is for that match, but I will give that to you in my prediction video. Unsure with this whole situation just yet. Moving on, we get to see a beat the clock match, and it's the first one, Big E versus Ryback. And to me, this match was just an okay match. Nothing really popped out. Nothing special out of the ordinary really happened. It just seems like the WWE dropped Big E's momentum a lot. It just feels like the WWE is racist sometimes. I mean, they've done this with Kofi Kingston. They push him when it was like in 2009 when he'd done the whole stint with Randy Orton with the leg drop through the table and the whole key in the car thing and putting the paint over it, stuff like that. And they dropped and it fizzled out very quickly. And now they're doing the same thing with Big E. I mean, he was the Intercontinental Champion. The fans were behind him. And now ever since he lost the championship, it just feels like that the audience just doesn't care anymore about Big E. I don't know what he done to deserve it, to be quite honest. But it's just one of those things where the WWE expected the way the audience would react when they dropped Big E, and so they just boo him. And so overall, this match between Big E and Ryback just really didn't do anything for me at all. Here you have Big E go over in 5 minutes and 2 seconds. So he's setting the bar for who's going to be the next winner or possible winner or whatever happens if they don't beat the clock and Big E moves on. But I was expecting him to move on, but what happened was that later on the show, Alberto Del Rio faced RVD, and this was another match. I felt like it was just an okay match. Here you have RVD go over in 4 minutes and 15 seconds, just 5 seconds too fast or too short. Yeah, I know, I had to do it, but yeah, never mind. Yeah, Rob Van Dam goes over Alberto Del Rio in the Beat the Clock match, and this was a match that felt awkward in some parts where, you know, the commentators would say, oh no, he's going to go for Rolling Thunder. Oh no, he turns into a leg drop. He thought he was going for Rolling Thunder. It was weird. A couple of times it happened. It was like, oh, we already got half of the Rolling Thunder. So a couple of moments felt weird in the match, so this just made for an okay match. And later on we had Mark Henry versus Dolph Ziggler, and there was no winner in that match. And Rob Van Dam comes out and celebrates as the winner of the Beat the Clock challenge. And then you have Wade Barrett come out, do his thing, attack Rob Van Dam from behind with the elbow. And the fans were loving it. They were cheering it. I get it. It is his hometown. I know a lot of people are complaining about Wade Barrett not being in a match in his hometown of London, England. But at least we got Wade Barrett on the show. I can understand it. You know, you could have had Wade Barrett in a match after he attacked Rob Van Dam, and for him to use that match as a way for Rob Van Dam to come back and attack Wade Barrett. That would be interesting to see, but I think what's going to happen is that Wade Barrett will probably end up having a match next week on the show where Rob Van Dam comes out and probably gets his revenge on Wade Barrett, and this continues the whole feud between Wade Barrett and Rob Van Dam. I should be saying Bad News Barrett, to be quite honest. I'm still trying to get used to the name changes in the WWE. Oh, I'm terrible. Anyway, and the one thing I actually do like about this is that even though it's not much, there's a little bit of story. They're slowly bringing prestige. I'm not going to say it's 100%, but there's something there with the with this whole thing with the Intercontinental title. At least they're giving us something to look forward to. The way that they put this on the show, the way they established it for Wade Barrett to attack Rob Van Dam, and I think even after that, Wade Barrett cutting a really good promo at the end of that was really quite interesting. At least we're getting a match, a promo, an attack from behind to actually bringing some importance to the Intercontinental Championship. Like I said, it's not much, but there's something there. There's a little bit of hope left in the mid-card in the WWE. So even though I'm on the fence of bringing really high hopes, but I have little, but to some hopes, to an extent. But you know, you get what I'm saying. Moving on, we got to see Fandango come out. R-Truth and the Funkadactyls already made their entrance. It was supposed to be a mixed tag team match. They never really made it clear who R-Truth was going to be competing with one of the Funkadactyls as his partner. No answer there, but what we got to see was Fandango and Layla come out. Said it was a mixed tag team match, but we got Summer Rae coming out and trying to get her revenge on Fandango and Layla. Here you end up happening Summer Rae and Layla going at it, and the fans are actually reacting to it. I'm actually surprised by that because usually in venues in the US, when you have the divas fighting, brawling, or hair pulling, or whatever, the fans just don't seem to care sometimes. But in this case, in London, they actually were drawn to this, and they reacted that the way they did. That was great, I thought. And what ended up happening is that you had Summer Rae kissing Fandango. Plot twist. I was actually expecting Summer Rae to probably slap Fandango in the face with a kiss. Call me crazy, but if I were in Summer Rae's position, I would have slapped Fandango. That's just the way I would have reacted. Moving on, we get to see Stephanie McMahon coming out to Daniel Bryan's music. That was really cool. I thought the way that Stephanie really trolled the audience here, making them believe that, oh, Daniel Bryan's coming out. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, but wait, it's Stephanie. She comes out, she cuts a promo. I love how she was being really sincere and sarcastic all in the same time. It was really incredible the way she would talk about Daniel Bryan. She goes on to saying that that she would strip Daniel Bryan of the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and award it to guys like Kane or Bad News Barrett or Batista or even the COO of the WWE, Triple H. And even though I understand a lot of people wouldn't like the idea of the title being handed over to someone, I get it, but remember this: when Eric Bischoff first came to Raw as the general manager, he awarded the World Heavyweight Championship to Triple H. Huh? Yeah, you see where I'm coming from. So the way I would see it, it would be interesting to see if that does happen. But what I would have liked to see happen is to have Daniel Bryan hold on to that championship and have a tournament to determine an interim new champion. So when Daniel Bryan comes back, he would collide with that champion and have a champion versus champion match to determine the champion. You get what I'm saying? And what happened here at the end is you have Stephanie saying, Daniel Bryan, I demand you to come next week on Raw to personally give me the title, personally surrender the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and it was all well and good. Stephanie was actually pretty good in this promo, and I never really saw anything wrong with it at all, to be quite honest. Moving on, we got to see Heath Slater versus Alexander Rusev. Again with the name changes. I keep forgetting. But anyway, we have this match, and it's Heath Slater coming out with Jinder Mahal and Drew McIntyre, posing as the the British hometown guys, and here you have Rusev pretty much going over Heath Slater and taking out the other two guys of 3MB, or should I say the Union Jacks. And the way the WWE portrayed this match really fell flat, because I guess they were hoping that Heath Slater would play that hometown kind of guy with the gimmick of the Union Jacks and have some cheers, but it never really worked at all. And you have Heath Slater go over in like 20 seconds. And the funny thing is that Lana's promo before this match was a lot longer than the match itself, which to me tells me that Lana will probably have a lot better career than Rusev, because to me this whole Rusev gimmick can go stale in seconds, and I can see it happen. Moving on, we get to see a match between Seth Rollins and Batista, and what happened was that before Batista came out, here you have Triple H coming out and announcing himself as a special guest referee, and Randy Orton as the timekeeper. And the stipulation is going into this match is that no one besides personnel that are working at ringside would come out for this match. So you could see how this match is going to be portrayed as what the outcome will be. And here you have Seth Rollins coming out and says that I have two guest commentators coming out, Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. And throughout this entire match, I actually enjoyed Dean Ambrose on commentary. Roman Reigns, he never really said much at all, but Dean Ambrose was saying some things that were actually pretty good, in my opinion. I like that he was the guy that said, we'll be right back, and we cut to commercial, instead of Michael Cole or JBL or King. I thought that was a nice touch. They gave Dean Ambrose the ball here when it comes to being on the commentary booth. That was really, really good. And the match itself was a decent match. And the one thing that stood out to me was the last few minutes where all chaos ensued. Here you have Triple H interfering, costing Seth Rollins via disqualification. Seth Rollins wins, and then everything starts to happen outside the ring. You had Dean Ambrose flying over the announce tables, onto Triple H and Randy Orton. And you have Roman Reigns near at the end spearing Batista. And you have the Shield in the ring and the Shield and Evolution outside the ring. It felt like, a repeat of last week, but it was still really exciting. But to me, I want to root for Evolution going into this match at Payback because of the fact that the Shield won at Extreme Rules. So why not give this next match to Evolution and have another rematch at the next pay-per-view where the Shield wins? That would be really interesting, I think, in my opinion, to set up a possible seed planting of someone breaking up to the Shield and joining Evolution. Maybe someone like a Roman Reigns, maybe at the next pay-per-view, whether it's Money in the Bank or Over the Limit or whatever the next pay-per-view event is after Payback. You also had Alicia Fox going one-on-one with Paige in a non-title Divas match here. And I like that in this match you had Alicia Fox kick out of the Paige Turner. I thought that was surprising because I was wondering, okay, what is the outcome? Not just that going to be for this match. And here you end up happening, Alicia Fox beating Paige. And the fans didn't know how to react to it. The commentators didn't know what to react to it. Even I didn't know what to make of it. And that was the beauty of this match. And I know some people are saying that Alicia Fox probably should have won next week because we're in England. This is Paige's hometown. But you know what? What better way to shock people into giving Alicia Fox the bone here and give her the win and to have her throw another tantrum. Well, not really a tantrum, but a celebration tantrum where she takes Jerry King's hat, puts it on her head, walks on the barricade and takes a kid's Coke and pours it on her. I was like, what the weird? It was really interesting how that all played out, and I like this side of Alicia Fox, this different side of Alicia Fox. It's really cool. Let's run with it. WWE, don't fail for me, please. Then give Alicia Fox the ball here right now and have her go somewhere with this kind of gimmick and have her, do matches with Paige sometime in the future, probably setting up a match between her and Paige for the Divas Championship for Payback. And I like to see cutting promos between both Divas to see what they can do. I want to see Paige actually cut a promo on Raw to showcase, not just her wrestling, but what she could do on the mic, just to see what she can do there. And to have Alicia Fox cut a promo, actually bringing some importance to the Divas Championship will be something that would be needed for the show. Let's make it happen. Let's have next week on the show, Alicia Fox cutting a promo, and Paige comes out, she cuts a promo, and something happens with there. You make a storyline out of it instead of having match. That's what's needed, I think, in my opinion. And we get to the segment where Renee Young conducts an interview with Adam Rose. Adam Rose comes out with the whole party. He's there talking with Renee Young, and it's just pretty much, the same 3 words or 5 words or whatever. It's don't be a lemon, be a rosebud, stuff like that. And you have Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger come out, they interfere. Coulter says, I want to pick a bone with you, and says that you're an immigrant, you snuck across the border, stuff like that, etc., etc. And then you have Adam Rose pretty much get the one-upsmanship. What was really funny in this segment was that when Jack Swagger was sucker punched Adam Rose, he was intimidating all those party people, and it was like, okay, why not have all these party people attack Jack Swagger? They have the numbers advantage. Why are all these people afraid of one guy? That was weird, in my opinion. And overall, I get it. You know, I understand it that people don't like what the WWE is doing with Adam Rose, booking him to only do so much and so little and not compete in the match. I get it. I understand it. But the way I see it, Adam Rose is a fun guy. I mean, why not like the guy? You know, he's a fun guy. He's entertaining. He's exciting to watch. I mean, what's not to like about him? Moving on to the main event, and it's John Cena versus Luke Harper. And what I really, really enjoyed about this match is Luke Harper. To me, he never fails when it comes to his in-ring work and his psychology. And the whole wide eyes, the stretching out the arms and the stuff like that. I was hoping he would say, yeah. Never really got it, but I really enjoy Luke Harper in this match. He was impressive here. I like that he pulled off the Hurricanrana. That was incredible. Followed by a drop kick and then a suicide dive out the ring. He was stealing the show in the main event of Monday Night Raw here. And John Cena was being John Cena. He tried to pull off the Hurricanrana, but it never really worked. And the Tornado DDT was a little messy in a couple of spots that could have been cleaned up a bit. So to me, this is a one-sided kind of match where Luke Harper was stealing the show and John Cena was trying to hang with Luke Harper. That's the way I was looking at this match, to be quite honest. And at the end, you have John Cena win by disqualification, and here I'm thinking, oh great, another opportunity failed, in my opinion. It just seems like every time John Cena and any member of the Wyatt family are in the ring, you just know that the Wyatt family cannot beat John Cena clean in the ring. It's always a something that's unclean at all. I don't understand it. You know, give Luke Harper the bone here. Give him a clean win over John Cena. It's not that hard. I mean, I guess I understand it, you know, in the sense of storyline, in the sense of building up the storyline. But to me, when I look at this feud between John Cena and Bray Wyatt, there's no need to continue this at all. John Cena has beat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, and he had no business beating Bray Wyatt. We get the rematch at Extreme Rules, which really stuck up the joint, and now we expect Bray Wyatt and John Cena to face each other in a last man standing match at Payback, and I'm very nervous about this match. I mean, yeah, you could say that WrestleMania was a good match for John Cena, for Bray Wyatt, of course. Extreme Rules, it didn't even follow up to it at all. I have no hopes for their match at Payback, but I hope I'm proven wrong. And I hope they do something with this match and let the rivalry end here. There's just no need to continue this rivalry after Payback. There's just no point. And overall, with this episode of Raw, felt quite good. The first hour actually flowed well. The second hour was great, and when the third hour started, it just felt like the show was only an hour long. And with the third hour, it was starting to drag a little bit, but not too much. But it made for a little bit above average kind of show. So I will give this Raw 7 out of 10 wrestling bumps. And if you saw this episode of Raw, what did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below. Let me know. While you're at it, you can also follow MRB Wrestling on Twitter. You can like us on Facebook at the Mick Rock and Bolt Wrestling Review Show. And you can also hit that subscribe button down below this video. And on a final note to all you viewers watching, get plenty of rest and always do your best.